What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg Miller, and today's GameOverGreggy show is brought to you by Movement Watches. Kevin, hit it. I'm going to a wedding this weekend. I'm wearing my Movement watch. There, look at that's a good zoom, Kev. Good job. Let me tell you about Movement Watches, ladies and gentlemen. First off, they're a great holiday gift. Don't be silly. Movement Watches start at just $95 at a department store. You're looking at $400 to $500. Movement figured out that by getting rid of all the middlemen and selling online and getting rid of that retailer markup, they can get you the best possible price. They have classic design, quality construction, and stylized minimalism. There's over 500,000 watches sold in more than 160 countries. You can get $15 off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movementwatches.com/Greggy. This watch has a really clean design. Honestly, I get talked about all the time. At the wedding, I think the bride might leave her man and come home with me. I'm just kidding, Jen. That won't happen. Anyways, go to movementwatches.com/Greggy. That's MVMTwatches.com/Greggy. Join the movement. Like a laser. Can you make a laser come out of it, Kev? Nick.
Yeah.
What's your topic?
Super important topic. What's the coldest you've ever been?
Where does this stem from?
Welcome
This morning,
to the GameOverGreggy show.
I walked into the office. Now,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me back up. Let me
Please,
preface.
paint me a picture.
Let me paint
I hate
you
it when you jump right to the pop.
Let me paint
I
you a
want a
picture.
little foreplay.
2 days ago, for some ungodly reason, the weather decided to go real cold, real fast. And I don't like it. Now, I like it because I like that it's wintry and I like that it's the holiday time. But I don't like it because then I have to be cold like every goddamn night until the sun decides to pop back up. Then we walked into here today, and you're noticeably agitated for a number of reasons, but I think it's because you're cold. And I ask you, and you're like, yes, I am cold because it's fucking cold in here. And I tell you, Greg, we've got a heater in this place. And you're like, no, we don't.
I did not say no. I think maybe I said I did not know that.
You were like something to the extent where you're like, you're a fucking asshole.
We absolutely
I did
do
not say
not
that.
have a heater.
I did not
That's
say
what
that.
he said. No.
Oh, that's what he said. He was like, yeah.
It's,
he's like,
it's
you're-
amazed that I could be agitated here.
You're a lying sack of shit, is what he said to me. Not what I'm saying to him, but I'm kind of inferring that.
What was he saying to you that he said to you?
He was basically like,
said,
I
don't
think
know.
you're a bull-faced liar and we don't have a heater and you should stop doing drugs. And I was like, well, we'll take that apart piece by piece. I'm not a liar, but I should stop doing drugs. I digress. It got me thinking, yeah, I'm fucking cold, man. And I'm uncomfortable when I'm cold. So what's the coldest you guys have ever been? Greg, you come from a place where it snows. Tim, you grew up 3 hours from a place where it snows. I've been to that place a few times.
Tahoe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, there's multiple times that come to mind of those were the coldest times I've ever been in my life. One time I got dragged to a NFL All-Star game that was in San Francisco.
Why would you go to that?
Curran's mom's sister worked for somebody that got free tickets.
This is the Pro Bowl, right?
Pro Bowl. That's what it was. Yeah, I don't fucking know.
I'm just helping.
So we went to this thing, and oh man, my nips were so hard.
Hard as ice. Huh?
They fucking hurt. They hurt so bad for days after that. Because I was out there, and I'm just like, why? Why is this so cold? I didn't have a jacket. I was just wearing like a t-shirt or whatever. And I was just like, I'm watching this thing that I don't fucking like. I'm at a place surrounded by people I don't like, and it's so cold. I think that's why I hate football. Is that
that's what
it was that
from.
insane. It was
you
so
know you
damn
can watch
cold.
football in the comfort of your own living room.
Oh, trust me, and nothing about it is appealing. But the cold was definitely the worst thing about that. Another time was with Kevin, where we were in Santa Cruz and we decided to go into the water at the beach. And it was like 5:30, so like the sun was setting, and we're like, fuck it, we're just gonna do it. And we didn't have swim trunks or anything, so we just went in with our shorts. And we thought it was funny, like, let's just go in with our clothes. So we did, and it was not funny when our wet t-shirts, we then had to walk like 2.5 miles back to the hotel at night, and it was just, that was fucking horrible. But the worst cold I've ever had, ever, bar none, Philadelphia, when I went there.
Interesting.
Single-handedly, it was that freezing feeling on me of why I hate Philadelphia and think it's the worst place I've ever been.
A lot of
For
people
sure.
will agree with
Do you
you.
remember
That
that
place
time
fucking sucks.
in Tahoe when it was springtime? The water was like all the ice was melting, and we were like swimming in the lake.
Yeah, we did a lot of dumb things. If there was water, we were in it. But yeah, like in Philadelphia, it was like I felt like it was illegal for it to be that cold. Somebody should have done something. Somebody should have talked to somebody and been like, you know what? There's a curfew. You're not allowed to leave your house. Here, the government's giving everybody heaters.
Yeah.
We'll get through this together, guys. But instead, they let us run amok in these fucking streets. And in Philadelphia, it's designed like Boston. Like some fucking idiot kindergartner was just like, hey, draw a map of the city. And he was like, here's a bunch of fucking lines. And I'm like, none of this makes sense. There's no grid system at all. So then taxis are like, if you want to get a taxi, you have to cross the street. But to cross the street, you need to freaking freeze to death.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I'm here
Like
right
the
now.
maze from Westworld.
Fuck the cold.
Hi.
You grew up in somewhere close to Chicago.
Right. The burbs.
Yeah. Did it snow there where you grew up?
Oh my God, you kidding me? It snowed all the time.
What? So,
You understand that, like, so backyard wrestling.
yeah.
Start
love
taking
it.
notes because you'll need this for the documentary. The front yard is where we did all the regular shows.
Yeah.
Your Monday Night Raws or whatever is what you call them, right? And then every fourth, when we did 4 shows, that meant it was time for one of the monthly pay-per-views. And so the monthly pay-per-views were in the backyard where we, make things and have like entrances. Like we'd make like actual stages or sets, you know what I mean, to come out of and stuff.
Can I
Yes,
ask?
go ahead.
How many people would be there to watch this unfold? Was it just
The
the
other
people that were
wrestlers.
wrestling? That was it.
Yeah,
there was never a crowd that you guys. You never thought to invite anyone
Once
to
in a
watch
while, our neighbors, my neighbors, would come out and watch from afar to
this?
see what these idiots are doing.
When they were watching, were they doing this?
Oh yeah, big time.
Just shaking their heads back and
Big
forth,
time
like,
shaking their heads. They were
one
not
of these
having. They
kids
were
is
not
good
part
at
of
that.
this.
Got it.
The front yard though, because when it started in the school year or whatever. So we're wrestling outside in the fall into winter or whatever, and we called it the arena. The front yard was called the BYWF Tundra,
Right.
Because it would just be out there, and it would just like trees are just skeletons, of course. The grass, if it's not covered in snow, the grass is just that dead brown, but the dead like light yellow brown where there's like
Yeah.
no color to it, and then the wind just whips.
But you know it's
And
razor sharp.
The whole reason we call it the Tundra is because the first time you ever watched the footage back from one of these wrestling when it got really bad, it was just and us yelling over, like just talking or whatever, and it's like, okay, we got to play this into the canon of this, and we call it the
I
BYWF
hope to
Tundra.
God you have all those videos still.
Still do, yeah, still do. We need to digitize them.
I will help you do that.
Thank you very much.
That
We
is
need to do
genius.
that. So yeah, I'm familiar with the cold. It's one of the like. Here's the thing about cold, and you guys,
Never bothered you anyway?
Thank you very much. I like that one. The thing about
let
the
it go.
cold.
I will.
Let it go.
The thing about the cold, when you grow up in a cold place, is that it's impossible to narrow it down.
Sure.
What is the coldest moments of your life, really? Because there's like, it's just how it is. You're used to it. It's the thought of going out into the cold that sucks, but you immediately get used to it. You immediately know what it is. Like when I was going up to Montreal, Jen's like, it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold. I got there, I was like, this ain't shit. And she's like, it's gonna get worse. I'm like, I know it's gonna get worse, but don't be warning me at this. This isn't bad at all.
Did you just do the thing that Greg Miller does, where no matter how cold it is, you wear a sweatshirt?
Yeah, that's what you do. Because this is the thing about it. Like, first off, people always freak out about the cold of like, oh, it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing that you're so worried about the cold? You go from your car to the restaurant to the whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. As a kid, that's when it gets you. That's when, because you got to learn these lessons.
Right.
But when I think of the coldest I've ever been, I'm thinking of I'm 10, so we'll say 1993. Maybe I'm 7, so 1990, somewhere in there, right? Let's check out. Yeah.
Sure.
Big Greg Miller, the crane operator, wants to get big old Jamie Kennedy this Christmas gift from downtown. So I tag along with him, and we go downtown, we park, and we come up on Michigan Avenue, and I'll never forget this. We come up and we round the corner, and the wind hits me blowing through the streets, and it literally was like a ghost train drove through me and took everything away. Because like all the wind got sucked out of my body, and I grabbed my dad, and I'm like, I grabbed my dad because I'm all smaller or whatever.
He's just shaking his head like, God damn it.
Yeah, he hates me.
This is my son.
But like, so there's that. And then it's I like you bring up sleeping when I in Missouri when we were in the Antler house or whatever, which was like a cheap shitty fucking house that probably is the reason I have cancer, but like wasn't insulated at all, no storm windows or anything. Like we would go, Kyle Hayes would go out and buy that that pink lining you put in your attic. You know what I'm talking about here? The padded pink lining.
Asbestos,
Yeah. and he would just line the windows with it and then duct tape that around it. But then like I remember going to bed in the Antler house and I would put on 2 pairs of sweatpants and 2 hoodies and lay down and sleep in that. Because that's how bad it was.
Sounds so sweaty.
Yeah, well, then that's the big thing about it. Well, because it was so cold, it never was. But when you're a kid and you're like, I'm thinking about cold stories, and I'm thinking about like the time me, Eric, and Mike got dropped off at a park and then wandered out around in the snow and ended up pooping in the bushes then too. And then we found we didn't know where we were and we didn't have cell phones. So then we saw Ozzy's Diner, you know what I mean, the county seat. Yeah. We went in there. I knew those people. We had a phone. We were able to call family and friends. But like when you go sledding, when you go whatever, you're built for that. You're putting on the snow pants and the thing. I always sweated in that crap because you're out there. And it's not like I was ever out and then the blizzard caught me off guard.
Mm-hmm. I mean, okay. This whole thing reminded me of something I can't believe I didn't bring up. Our story.
Boston.
Yeah. AKA the Great Freeze.
Oh, God.
Well, there was multiple moments where I'm like, I'm going to die. Yeah. Like, we're going to die. So me and Nick decide to walk back to the hotel from PAX East.
It wasn't we made a poor choice. I think it was based on good information, though, because I think the cab stand was like fucking ridiculous.
Cab was crazy because PAX East is a fucking nightmare, and that convention center is stupid.
Now, if it had been PAX East this last time we went, which I believe was later in the year, so there was no snow on the ground,
we would have been fine. But it wasn't. It was blizzard. There's those walls of snow. It's like Game of Thrones with just the walls everywhere.
Yeah.
And again, going back to what I was saying, a kindergartner drew the map of this place. So there's no streets that make sense. So in order to navigate, like you need to just walk in these narrow chasms of snow walls. And we're doing this and we're just like, we're totally fine. And it was about 2 miles away.
Yep.
A 2 mile walk. Yeah. Not that bad. But I think we got maybe 3 blocks in and we're both just like, we're going to die.
So we should preface light jackets, no gloves, no beanie.
And this is the thing of cutting back to, we've told this story so many times. Cutting back to Colin and I. Colin's in a windbreaker. I'm in a hoodie. Yeah. And we're fine. This is life.
You guys are totally fine.
But you also taxied and didn't have to walk in 2 miles of death.
I could have done it though. I could have done it, no problem.
You couldn't have. You would have died. You're weak-willed.
It's
You're
possible.
like me, Greg. I get it. You're one of us. And by us, I mean me and you. We are who we are. We do what we do. But me and Nick went to a Walgreens.
Mm-hmm. You stopped at like 14 places, right?
Yeah, we bought beanies. We bought gloves. We got hot chocolate. Nick got a hot chocolate.
Yeah.
That's how desperate he was.
I was like, because there was no coffee because the guy was closing. I was like, well, what do you have? And he's like, all we have is hot chocolate.
And we stopped at multiple places. And we got to a point that we went to like a bus station where we're like begging them to just let us stay inside for a while because places were kicking us out because they're like, you guys can't just stand it here.
Now you would think, you're like, why in this technological age would you not just get an Uber or go get a taxi? And the answer was because they were all over the fucking convention center. Ubers,
and they were walled off from these snow walls.
To them, yeah, because the snow walls, and the taxis were just, you can't find them. So but then we did the bravado like man thing where we're like, well, we've come this far.
Yeah.
At every point we're like, we've come. It can't possibly be farther than this. We're doing the walking directions on our phone.
Yeah.
And
so then we have to hold our phones.
Yeah, it was terrible.
See, that's the thing is, it's just you weren't ready for it. You weren't. You haven't been bred. You weren't like Bane. You Chicagoans, New York people. We were born into this.
Yeah.
Because I think of like when you said this topic, I immediately jumped to like for the longest time it was. I didn't come home until Christmas. And so when I came home to Christmas, we'd go to like the second to last Bears game at the end of December. So we're outside Soldier Field with the lake effect snow and the wind whipping through that parking lot, sitting there trying to barbecue and do all this terrible stuff and get wasted. But we're also wearing 15 layers and we all bought the hand warmer things you break in, at Walgreens, you open the package, you put them in your gloves.
I don't understand why people live in a lot of places.
Now I agree with that. I will agree as somebody who has left the Midwest and fled. I go back there in the summer and the fucking signs are melting. You go back there in the winter, everybody's dying. I'm like, well, you don't have to be here.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to be here.
Here's the thing. People complain, San Francisco, it's so expensive, whatever. There's a lot of issues. But guess what? We don't have seasons. There's rain every once in a while. There's like 3 days it's hot. It's a minor annoyance. It's pretty annoying when it happens.
Those days you are the most annoying human being on the planet.
Yeah. But it's not LA. I don't need to deal with this fucking scorching heat.
The smog.
It's not New York. I don't need to deal with the heat. Like New York is probably the worst offender because you got to deal with all types of shit. They're throwing the sun at you. They're throwing the fucking blizzard at you. And I'm just like, I'm just trying to get by, guys. Yeah. You go into the subway, no matter what time of year it is, it's hot as fuck down there. Stinking up a storm.
Sure.
Man,
smell like dead rats.
I'm happy I'm here. We made a good choice, Kev.
You guys didn't make any choice.
You just stayed.
were born here.
That was a choice. That was a choice. We didn't leave. We didn't go to freaking. Oh God, there's so many stupid ass places.
Yeah, I think the only other time I've been that cold is in Tahoe on like skiing. But I think there was one time specifically where we skied 2 days in a row, and I'm not that great of a skier. And I'm definitely not built to handle the second day in a row. So I was kind of dreading the second day anyway. But I went because we do it every. We don't get to go up there that often. And it started to snow, and I'd never skied when it was snowing before because normally I go when it's not snowing, or if it's a snow, it's a light snow. We're on the lift stops. and it's like someone hit the button to make it snow more, and it starts coming down, and you start getting that weird, uncomfortable feeling. First off, your ass goes numb because you're on the ski lift. Second off, no matter what you do, your nose starts running, but you can't stop it from running because your glove's wet. So as you're rubbing the glove on your nose to try to get it, whatever, and then it's like the sandpapery wet feeling on your nose, then your nose goes numb. Then your eyes start to water, right? Then you get the snowy vagina. Are you familiar with this?
No.
You look down into your crotch and it's all white and it looks like a snowy vagina, right? And you haven't realized, you're like, how long has that snow been there? Can I feel my dick anymore? I can't feel my dick anymore. When am I getting off this goddamn lift? And then by then, of course, you're so zapped for energy that then you have to ski down the fucking hill, which takes energy. That's when you go to the lodge and get yourself a Bloody Mary or 3, and you don't go back out. But that was one of the coldest times I've ever been. Luckily, I was with 2 other people on the lift, so it was fun. But I'm like, this is fucking miserable because you're high up, and then it's that like dead quiet because it's snowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
when
yeah.
it starts to snow, it gets so quiet. And you can just hear, you can't really see what's going on below you, but you're so cold and you're shivering, and you hear like your hands just like clamoring against the metal of the cage that should be down, but it's not because you're supposed to be fucking cool and not worry about the safety. And then you'll see one kid, you'll just hear a kid eat it, and you're like, I wonder if that kid's still alive. Maybe he froze to death down there in this fucking frozen wilderness that we're up here. And then you get down and it's all fine.
I do love snow.
But the good thing about being the cold is then after that day actually turned out, of course, beautiful. It was a fun day. But then we go back to where we were staying and it's super warm and there's dogs and we cooked and it was like, man, it was a blast. Always a blast. But I will say, coming from Southern California, I vastly prefer the hot heat
No, God, no.
to the cold any day of the week.
Hot sucks.
Any day.
Hot sucks. I'd rather I don't like either of them, but I'd rather be cold than hot. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 3, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can back us for some money. You can get your topics read. You can get phone calls with us. You can get a bunch of cool stuff. And most importantly, get the show early each and every week. But if you have no bucks to toss, no big deal. You can head over to youtube.com/kindafunny and get the show broken up topic by topic, day by day, until we post the big thing the following week. Now, as always, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Next week, the return of Colin Moriarty and a very special guest.
Oh.